153 monsters put down, and 1,525 families still breathing easy, able to tuck their kids in, kiss them goodnight, and complain about screen time limits, instead of planning funerals. And Miami never sent a thank you fruit basket. Typical. Let's see if New York City follows suit. I'm Dexter Morgan, the 5 boroughs' unofficial pest control. Stay with me, and I'll show you how a well-placed scalpel cancels funerals faster than any task force, and why the blood on my gloves always dries firmly in the black. Harry's code is simple enough to fit on a post-it. Only kill killers. Never get caught. Always clean up the mess. I've obeyed it longer than I've followed traffic laws. See, when most people hear body count, they picture a scoreboard flickering angry red digits. I see a ledger. Left column, debits in blood. Right column, credits in birthdays, anniversaries, and painfully wholesome holiday newsletters. Remove one serial predator like Trinity, and you erase a decade-long killing cycle. That's 90 funerals taken off Miami's 5-year calendar. Slice through a cartel enforcer, and suddenly 25 witnesses live to testify instead of decorating the bay. Stack those figures side by side. The arithmetic turns oddly philanthropic. Which is why, when I slide a blade under someone's carotid, I'm not chasing thrills. I'm balancing an equation Harry wrote on the back of a crime scene photo. Evil minus my knife equals fewer coffins. Grotesque? Maybe. Effective? Indisputably. But even the IRS accepts charitable deductions. Mine just happened to drip a little before they dry. I like order, so my trophies sit in 3 neat columns. Serial predators, organized crime, crimes of passion. In the first column, serial predators. I have put 61 down. These are the overachievers. Career killers with branding strategies. A few noteworthy names from this one are Arthur Mitchell, Trinity killer, ritual killer who reenacted his shattered family in 4 steps, buried a 10-year-old Arthur in wet concrete, bled a young Vera out in a bathtub while admiring her death in a mirror, forced a mommy to jump to her death, then bludgeoned a daddy after staging his own beating. He left only a smudge of his sister's ashes at each of his 279 kills. His hallmark? Consistency. Mine? Ending it. Ronald Schmidt. He stole my name. The Dark Passenger targeted New York rideshare drivers to avenge his father's ruined taxi career and subsequent suicide. Lured them with a fake pickup, looped a giggly saw around their necks, and decapitated them at remote kill spots. Police never knew his real tally, but the black binder in his apartment held 12 driver's license trophies in just 10 months. Once his fare was completed, every rideshare in Miami kept its 5-star rating, and roughly 60 more drivers will finish their shifts alive. George King, the Skinner, killed an unknown number of people in Nicaragua before moving to the United States. Kidnapped and tortured Miami day laborers, peeling layers of skin until they gave up a name, or just gave up. Thanks to Miguel Prado, he grabbed me too. His last bad idea. I flipped over the table, wriggled out of the ties, snapped his neck, and got out a window with seconds to spare. One Skinner flayed, dozens of street workers spared. Ray Speltzer, Minotaur Slayer, cosplay with a sledgehammer, built maze like kill courses, fitted his victims with bullhorns, then chased them until exhaustion did the aiming. I confirmed at least 3 kills, probably had a lot more. After he taunted Deb in a mausoleum, I lured him to a trap and cremated him on the funeral home conveyor. Miami's labyrinths lost their beast. Steve Valentine, Wiggles the Clown, pitched himself as birthday magic, delivered permanent disappearances. He photographed each child victim in clown makeup before burial. 12 trophy photos hidden in a metal box behind a medicine cabinet. 1 late night meet and greet, and I ended his act permanently.
What the hell is this? What's going on?
They always say some shit like that. Oliver Saxon, the brain surgeon, harvested occipital lobes from 5 unwilling donors to send to a family member, responsible for 24 deaths including Debra's. Although I'm the one who pulled the plug on her, he's the one who made her brain dead. My pen found his carotid in a holding cell. Miami Metro's cameras called it self-defense. I called it successful outpatient surgery. Travis Marshall, the doomsday killer, turned revelation into Pinterest. 4 horsemen, angel wings sewn to torsos, a would-be church roasting finale, 11 confirmed kills. I skewered him with his own sword of truth. Armageddon postponed. His congregation was released to complain about parking instead of burning in it. Each of those 61 monsters I put down from my first column cancels an average of 9 future funerals. That's 549 families that don't have to put together an obituary. That's not murder, it's preventative medicine. Organized crime is tucked away neatly in the second column. 44 have been taken off the board. These are your cartel bagmen, smuggling kingpins, and DIY organ harvesters. Think of them as venture capitalists in the agony market. Some of my game pieces in this column are Jorge and Valerie Castillo, husband and wife importers who smuggled Cuban migrants and caged them until the debt was worked off or they went missing. 4 confirmed kills, likely several more. After a little marriage counseling, I killed them both.
For drowning them and dumping their bodies in the ocean, please.
We can pay you. We have money.
That's what it's all about, right?
A double tap on my slide box. 2 fewer human traffickers in Miami. A dozen captives suddenly set free. Oscar Mejia, Little Chino, 6'6" gang enforcer who carved gang tags into his victims with a machete. Miami's nightmare version of a growth chart. 10 confirmed kills. My first attempt ended with him walking away and me sporting a cheek scar. Attempt number 2. Lanced him with a police tranquilizer while trapped in a garage elevator. New kill room and his own machete to the chest. 1 oversized menace downsized to 6 feet of plastic wrapped proof that persistence pays. Cole Harmon, Special Forces muscle and head of security for Jordan, chases self-help empire, really just a kidnapping ring that raped and filmed women for black market buyers. He snatched victims, chained them in Chase's cabin, tortured them with a whip, then strangled them, had 14 rape victims and responsible for 12 deaths. I short-circuited him with a stun baton and drove a knife through his chest before the first scream could echo. 1 barrel girl butcher off payroll, and every future motivational weekend quietly cancelled. Santos Jimenez crew. 4 confirmed kills, likely others. Cartel enforcers who turned my mother into chainsaw confetti. I tracked Jimenez to a dive bar in the Keys, and eventually introduced him to a quieter kind of saw. Cartel muscle deleted. 1 childhood nightmare finally accounted for. Victor Baskov, Koshka Brotherhood, emissary with hair-trigger temper, shot Detective Mike Anderson because he saw a dead body in his trunk when the detective stopped to help him with a flat tire. 2 kills that I know of. I caught him at the airport trying to escape. Converted a fire extinguisher into a blunt instrument of death. Gift-wrapped him in plastic and gave him to the Atlantic. The Brotherhood never even sent a thank you card. Hector Estrada. Don't know his kill number. Only one mattered to me. Last surviving link to my mother's massacre. The one that gave the order. He was paroled and planning a quiet retirement. Promising a drug deal, I got him to follow me straight back to Container 13. The same rust-flecked box where I sat for days drenched in my mother's blood. 1 knife through the chest. 1 breathless apology he never got to finish. And the past finally stopped echoing. Just poetic symmetry and 160 square feet of corrugated steel. Every time I take out an enforcer, 20+ witnesses are still left breathing. Do the math, 44 bodies times 20 equals 880, still talking humans, and a noticeable drop in bay-bound body dumps. In my last column I keep the crimes of passion. 49 freshly retired amateurs lie here. These are the weekend warriors, jealous husbands, rage blackout exes, accountants who discover a chainsaw. A few of the column retirees are Stan Beaudry, long-haul trucker who beat a prostitute to death at a Jacksonville stop and wriggled off the hook on a technicality. Lundy's files pegged him as a Trinity suspect. Close enough for my needs. I intercepted his rig at Freddy's truck stop, pumped the M99, then staged his place to scream hammer happy serial killer. 1 hammer, 1 carefully fractured skull, some carefully placed DNA. And Miami Metro spent weeks chasing a phantom while the real Trinity stayed in my crosshairs. Rupert Benson, early release poster boy who stabbed a tourist for a digital camera, then posed for club photos with the blood-stained lens. The justice system called it insufficient evidence. I called it job security. I tailed him to his beach apartment and let the bone saw carve a lesson into every pixel. Ethan Turner, serial spouse color in a linen suit. Wife number 1 accidentally overdosed on her pain meds. Wife number 2 went snorkeling in international waters, of course. while Ethan held her head under for the full tour. 2 life insurance payouts later, Miguel Prado handed me the case file like a party invite. I found Turner trolling for victim number 3 in Bemini. I disposed of his body piece by piece through his cabin's porthole window. Jamie Jaworski, hotel valet by day, snuff film hobbyist by night. He raped and murdered Jane Saunders, a mother of 2, and posted the footage to his fetish site. A faulty search warrant set him free, but the red devil tattoo on his arm matched the killer's ink in the video. I followed him to a construction site where he'd been stealing copper pipe, confirmed his confession, then began disassembling him, until I was interrupted by the security guard. The ice truck killer, my brother, took the blame for that one. Benito Benny Gomez, former middleweight boxer who treated skulls like speed bags, caved in his girlfriend, then a father of 2 while the victim's son watched. My courtroom mix-up got him acquitted on purpose. In a condemned boxing gym, I strapped him to the ring. He was the night's main event after all. Rita called mid-ritual Harrison's ear infection emergency. So I skipped the pageantry, stabbed him through the heart, and stuffed the body into an old punching bag. After a sleep-deprived car crash and a bout of amnesia, 2 brutal knockouts were avenged. Fred Bowman, Free Bo, small-time coke dealer with big-time bad luck, killed 2 college women and dumped in the Everglades. Walked on a technicality. I found him hiding in Tegan's duplex after days of cat and mouse. He had the Skinner, the Prado brothers, and the cops looking for him. I found him first, killed him in her storage shed, almost getting caught by Miguel Prado, who was there to kill him as well. Individually, they'd ruin an average of 2 families. Collectively, they could torch a whole suburb. Trimming 48 of them preserves roughly 96 more lives. And spared Miami the inevitable Dateline episode starring jealous boyfriends with bargain bin butcher knives. 153 corpses made by me. 1,525 families, each still singing happy birthday instead of amazing grace. Some people keep gratitude journals. I keep a double entry ledger in blood red ink. Debits equals monsters removed. Credits equals lives saved. Bottom line, I'm still solidly in the black, even if the ink smears a little when it dries. Regret? 0. Remorse? Still on back order. How do I sleep? Like a baby in a morgue. Quiet, climate controlled. Nobody crying. New York, you're welcome in advance. Just don't forget the fruit basket.